Hello, IBL fans, and welcome to a very special feature on IBL on Deck. My name is Jackson Farough. Good to be with you today, and we have a very special guest with us today. Now, with the advent of the Stadium Creator function in MLB The Show 21, it was only a matter of time before someone would create some well-known Ontario baseball stadiums, some of the more iconic ones in the IBL too, including the legendary and historic Labatt Park in London. Now, that someone is longtime sports anchor and reporter, and of course, London's very own Rob Leth. Now, Rob, we really appreciate you joining us today. I saw you've been doing quite the press tour over the last week or so, so we appreciate you taking some time for us today.
Yeah, it's actually pretty crazy how popular this has been. I really appreciate all the responses. I just kind of wanted to do this for fun, and it's kind of taken off.
Yeah, and you talk about doing it for fun. Was the whole process fun? Like, did you ever get to the point where, maybe creating one of these stadiums, you're like, man, this is a pretty meticulous challenge. Like, how long did all this kind of take you?
Well, the first one I did was Kinsman Stadium in Oshawa, which is the stadium that I grew up playing in. I know every nook and cranny of that historic park with my eyes closed. I don't even need to be there. I played hundreds of games there. So I had to do that one first. And that one probably took me close to 6 hours, I want to say, just because I wasn't used to any of the features. I didn't know where to find anything. It was all kind of trial and error. I was trying different things, different heights of the home run fence, trying to get ivy on the wall. But the ones that I'm doing now, I'm up to 6. I'm going to post the 6th one that I've done later today. And I could probably do them in 3 or 4 hours now.
There you go. Good stuff. Now, you mentioned Kinsman Stadium. You also created Iroquois Park in Whitby, Labatt Park, of course, in London, Howard Talbot Park in Toronto, and, of course, Domenico Field at Christie Pitts in Toronto. Have you been to all these stadiums before, or just a couple?
The one that I haven't been to yet is actually Labatt Park, which is, I was born in London, but I moved, I was very, very young when I moved away, so I didn't have a chance to experience it. And I played baseball in London as part of the Oshawa team and with Durham. Oh, not Durham College, but I played there as a little kid, so I wasn't old enough yet to play in the big boy park. Right. So I actually haven't been to Labatt Park, so I did that one all just based on photos.
Wow, that's crazy. Now, you actually, speaking of the one you made in Labatt Park, the screen above the grandstand to block foul balls from breaking windows over on Wilson Avenue. I read you had some difficulty making it. Can you tell us a little bit about how you were able to kind of navigate that?
Yeah, so just looking at the pictures for that, I saw the screen. I know that there's houses right behind, so I put 2 and 2 together, and I figured that's why that screen is there. I know in real life it's angled and kind of hanging over the area of play a little bit, but they don't have chain link angled fences for the top of grandstands in the game. So what I did was I used 3 entrance gates, and I kind of just cobbled them together into the kind of same sort of shape that you see at Labatt Park, and I think it plays pretty well.
Yeah, the only thing it's missing is those pesky mosquitoes that hang out there on those summer nights. Now, what plans?
Sorry to interrupt, but the other thing that's missing from this park that I really, really want to include, and I hope it'll come in a later update, is the Thames River behind left field.
Yes.
And I actually have 2 of my friends have pitched at Labatt Park, and they both tell me they've served up taters that have landed in that river. So I need to get that river into the game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the more iconic parts of the stadium for sure. What plans do you have for other ones? Could people just send them to you online that they want to see, or kind of what's your plan and strategy as a MLB stadium creator right now?
Yeah, that's kind of what's happening now. People are seeing these and they're enjoying them, and they're like, well, how about this one? How about this one? How about this one? I'm kind of developing a list now, and I kind of feel like how do I turn this into a job that would pay money?
Yeah, I saw your tweet about that the other day.
I'm actually going to post one later today, being Monday. It's Monday, right? It's hard to remember what day it is, but I have a buddy out west who just west of or near Calgary in Okotoks, Alberta, home of the Okotoks Dogs. And I actually worked till 3 a.m. last night doing that one. I'm going to post that one later today. As far as Toronto goes, I've had a request for Connervale Park, home of the Etobicoke Rangers. In Ajax, they want me to do the Ajax Sportsplex, which hosted the Pan Am Games. So that one's on the list. I've had a request for the Welland Jackfish Stadium.
There you go.
Guelph, St. Catharines. So there's a growing list of parks that people want to see. So I'll try and get them done. I think in the game there's spots for 30 stadiums that you can create and build before you have to start replacing them. So
Right.
I've got some room.
Yeah, there you go. What other features would you kind of like to see added? You talk about the river. Anything else maybe that you've, while creating stadiums, you've come across? You think, man, I wish I could do this, or I wish I could do that. Any other features you wish they would add as the game goes on here?
I wish there was more lettering options.
Mm.
They just added some numbers in, but they're only on wood panels. I'd like to put some retired numbers in Kinsman Stadium that they have on the wall there. A really simple one is Canadian flags. All these ballparks have flagpoles, and we need Canadian flags. They only have the American flag and the Pride flag, which is cool, but I think different countries need to be added. And of course, the water features I mentioned in London. Kinsman Stadium in Oshawa has the Oshawa Creek running behind right field. I had a request for Riverdale Park in Peterborough, which is literally, as you would guess, right on the river. So I kind of need that to build that one. So those are the two main ones I'd really like to see. Exhibition Stadium has been created by a lot of people in the game, but you can't actually put AstroTurf on the field. And you can't actually physically change anything on the field of play other than the grass texture or the dirt texture and color. So I'd like more options there.
Now, you're on Xbox, correct?
Xbox, yeah. This is the first year that we've had an MLB game on the Xbox since 2005. And this feature is actually the reason why I got out and actually found an Xbox Series X, which are hard to come by these days, but I got my hands on one, and it's the main reason why I finally upgraded from Xbox One to the Series X.
Yeah, and I'm on Xbox One, so obviously it's a pretty special time for you and I, baseball fans who finally actually get to play the show. Your first month or so with the game so far, have you tried out other modes? How you liking the show?
I really like it. My favorite baseball game of all time is SNK Baseball Stars on the original Nintendo NES, which was way ahead of its time. But this one is definitely giving it a run for its money. I'm really enjoying Road to the Show. I've actually created Rob Leth in the game, and I just got called up by the Blue Jays in the 2023 season. So starting to rake a little bit there, and that's a lot of fun. I haven't really tried Diamond Dynasty too much, but the Home Run Derby is fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun aspects to it. It's a really, really solid game, and they just keep, adding to it and updating it, and it's getting to be good stuff. Pretty cool that your pro player actually got to be with the Blue Jays, though mine is with the Angels, so not quite as lucky there. But well, a question for you.
I chose the Blue Jays organization, so you have that option, right? So it wasn't by chance.
There you go. There you go. I think a question I have for you, I guess, is, from a fan's perspective, what are your thoughts on the game being exclusive to Sony for so long? Like, in the impact of that, not just on, the game itself, but sort of on baseball fans, like, let's say someone my age, right, who's in their early 20s, who came up not being able, if they had Xbox, not being able to play the show, not really being able to experience baseball in that kind of fun way. What are your thoughts kind of on the impact of that?
Yeah, I thought it was just sad overall. For me, I was already invested in baseball. I love baseball, so it was more of an annoyance. But especially for the young generation that you want to get involved with the game and become fans of the game at an impressionable age, video games are a great way to do that, right? And I don't think Super Mega Baseball is going to do that for a lot of fans. We don't see the Mike Trouts of the world, or the Ronald Acuñas, or the Vladimir Guerrero Juniors, and now to have a chance to play with them in the game. When baseball actually returns to Ontario, you're going to have kids playing this and saying, hey, can we go to a game? Can I play the sport? Yes. I think it's a win-win for everybody. And good to see that Major League Baseball kind of force Sony's hand and say, we need this cross-platform.
Yeah, growing the game, exactly. And that's in many ways nowadays where it starts. Well, Rob, we really appreciate you joining us today for this awesome conversation. Be sure to search Rob Leth's username, Robbo33, ROBBO33, in the vault section of the game to be able to check out all the stadiums he has created and will continue to create here in the future. Rob, thanks so much for joining us today.
All right, thanks, Jackson. Any requests from you for a stadium?
Not right now. My big one would have been Labatt Park, but you already got it. So just keep doing your thing. Nice. I really appreciate it. It's cool stuff.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you very much to Rob for joining us. This has been a bit of a different feature on IBL On Deck. We thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time, folks.